What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode. This is episode 8 in our Let's Play series, and today we're just going to go ahead and catch up on a couple of things that I've been up to. As you can see, it's cycle 172, and I have been busy. So, like I said in the last episode, I did our Atmos suit dock here, and I've got quite a few. I've got 10 of them here in a row, and I've put a liquid lock here. I've moved most of our heat generating stuff outside, and I'll just go ahead and throw some overlays up in here. So I have these batteries running this small circuit here, and I have these down here. Oh yeah, and I also built another Atmos suit dock down here with another liquid lock, and I'm kind of putting temperature shift plates in here. This may be a waste of materials. I'm sure somebody will say something like that in the comments. What I'm doing is I'm dropping ice here, and I have some doors here. They're locked, and what it'll do is it will drop the ice right here, and it'll hit here, and this temperature shift plate is kind of helping it even out all this temperature as this hot gas, this oxygen that we have coming from our spawn here, comes out at a piping hot 64.9 degrees. When it comes out, it's at a very cool 21 degrees. And as you can see, if you remember the thermal overlay from the last video, we were starting to get a little warm up in here, and as you can see now, we are at a cool and comfortable 22-23 degrees. Also, we gave Devin here his own little room, and he's got this cute little dreamboat bed, and we also put a pedestal in here with the double helix that we found. We've got a couple of other private rooms going just to kind of alleviate this. We turned this into a rec room right here, as you can see on our overlay, our room overlay. We still have our nature preserve over here. We put a second great hall above our laboratory, and we worked on our storage area, and I kind of partitioned this forge over into here. We got rid of all of our plants because, like I said, or actually maybe I didn't, we got rid of all our plants because we have a ton of barbecue right now, and pickled meal for that matter. We had finished this in the last episode. We got our Drecos eating the mealwood, which has produced a bunch of glossy Dreco eggs, which we can actually let this guy out. I'm not sure what's going on here, but this is doing some weird stuff. Let me see if I can get this to work again. Will it? There you go. All right. Okay, let's see what we have here. I want to do something real quick. Let's see how many we have in here. We have 8 critters in here. So we're just going to let these guys stay in here, and we're going to starve them and just keep harvesting them. We have a power grid, our power spine rather, starting here. We've done a couple of things in the research thing, but right now we're having an issue with our power grid staying stable. I know I'm jumping around here a little bit, but we also did a vacuum lock here to keep the thermals inside and outside. We're still working on our super sustainable achievement, and we have started digging out down here. We've capped this steam vent off because we're not really interested in it right now. And we're just kind of digging things out. I'm kind of hoping to get over here into these. Now that we have plastic, I'm hoping that these will end up being volcanoes. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a chlorine gas vent. That's what I'm gonna guess. But we'll see once we get over here. I'm hoping that we can find some volcanoes. We may have to go down a little bit farther. I'm trying to get down into here pretty soon. We'll start digging out a bunch of this stuff. That's kind of what I've been doing. I'm also pumping this water out. I know it's actually not that hot because of the fact that we basically cored out this entire biome up here, which dropped a lot of cold water down in here. So it cooled all that hot water that was over here down. I'm going to save these guys, these Sweetles here, for later on, so we can tame them. We've pretty much tamed this geyser. We have that water coming down into our base. I created a cooling loop, and how this is working is this is coming down through here. It's coming around our base, the edge of our actual colony area, and it's bridging down into here, and it's feeding our metal refiner. Also, what it's going to do is it's going to come through here, and it's going to cool all of our machines that are going to be up in here, just to kind of keep this room a little bit cooler once we start running stuff. And then it comes over here, and these bridge together, and then it hits this loop. And then once it hits this loop, it's going to come to here, and it's going to, oh, I had it there, and it's going to check and make sure it's at least 0 degrees. If it is 0 degrees or higher, it'll allow it to pass past this shutoff, which will allow it to be filtered and thereby added to our reservoir, which is starting to fill up nicely. And that's why I'm adding these. I know maybe it's a waste of material, but I just want all of this water to be a nice even temperature. So whatever doesn't come by there, or if it's still too cold, we are sending it through this cooling loop for the base, which has these radiant liquid pipes where it goes over these airflow tiles. That is helping it to cool the base a little bit. So it's keeping things nice and cool in the base. And as I said earlier, it's keeping things rather cool. The only places that aren't super cool right now is this area up in here, and this may become a problem. I'm not sure. I think once these Drecos kind of cool down, this will start doing a little bit better job, but as long as we keep these under 30 degrees, the mealwood will keep growing, and I think we'll be okay. And this room really doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't get over 75 degrees, we may start damaging some of these things like the incubator, because we just made it out of copper, along with these other things in here. So yeah, that's how things are going. Oh yeah, and we also went ahead and we have a couple of stone hatches in here. We built a planetarium so we can start doing some of the other research. Oh yeah. Well, we need to take a look at the shipping tab because we have a lot of stuff going on here. This is going to be our input for our storage area. I think we're just going to drop it on the floor here, and that way we can just put as much as we want in here, and then the rest of it can just be put into here. We've already talked about these things here, all of this stuff here. What I've done is added these when I was trying to do the farming, to where it would just pick up everything in these brooms and add it to this and then sweep it on through here. And we've developed our storage, our central storage area a little bit better. And what we've done is we've got where everything drops here, and then we have it kind of being sorted out. Now, this one right here is sorting out sand because we need sand for this and for this sieve. And so we have sweepers and receptacles taking care of that. We have some other things right here being sorted out to the kitchen, and then this sweeper will take care of that. And we have a bunch of open or vacant loaders here, and we've also set this one up to send coal over here, and the coal is being set here. This sweeper will load it into our kiln here, and then once that's done, it will load the refined coal into here, which will be sent down to here, and our Dupasson here seems to be making some steel, as well as some other things. So that's really cool. This is a little setup I created. This is essentially a carbon dioxide trap. And you can tell how this works here. The only other place this should accumulate should be over here a little bit, but it should come across here. It may come up to here, but once the water gets to here and these things stop putting it in here, all the carbon dioxide should come to the lowest point in the base, which is this point right here. And what that'll allow us to do is to filter out the carbon dioxide as it's produced. And then once we get to the, well, we are kind of to the surface, and once we start setting up rockets, we'll be able to pump this carbon dioxide to the surface so we can fuel our first couple of rockets. That's where we are right now. We're working on a couple of achievements. We've actually hit a couple of achievements here. The new achievements that we have are the Ghosts of Gravitas, which are just from exploring some of these places out here. I think when we came into here, I think we got that. But once you open one of these doors, you get the Gravitas achievement. And the next one we got was the Down the Hatch, which we produced 10 tons of refined copper down in this farm. We had smooth hatches down here, so we got that taken care of. And now we've converted it over to stone hatches, and we're feeding all of them the igneous rock from our storage area right here. The other achievement that we got was the easy living, which requires us to auto sweep more things than the duplicants for 5 cycles. And as you can see, we have a ton of sweepers in our network all over the base, so that wasn't too difficult. The one we're still working on though is the super sustainable, and that one's still going to take us a little bit more time. We're working on it. We're 100,000 of the way there, so we're almost halfway there. I think we'll start snowballing towards that now that we have a little bit more power generation going on down here, but it's still going to be a little bit longer, and I'm not in too big of a hurry to leave the planet just yet. I know we have our teleporter here. We've already kind of looked at it. I know that we're probably going to want to start going to space at some time soon. But in the meantime, I'm just chilling. I'm just going to keep working on getting all the resources that this asteroid has to offer. So I'm going to continue to develop this a little bit. I'm going to leave these. I don't know if I really want to do anything with them. They are kind of annoying to look at. And I do realize we have a serious power issue here. And it really has to do with our oxygen production, because we're not using a whole lot of oxygen, so it's backing up and stopping the spawn from running. And when that happens, it's not putting out as much hydrogen, which is causing this to be unstable. However, we have gotten some of our research done. We did get a couple of things done over here. We got our steam turbine done, and we also got our solid control done. So we have our renewable energy and we have our solid control. I mean, we can actually probably put some solar panels up to help with our grid. So they make 380 watts. That's interesting. So we could go ahead and just pop this back. We could punch this thing right out the top. And then we could put maybe like a solar farm over here to help stabilize our grid. That is a really good idea. So I think that's probably what we're going to work on first, now that we have that, because we really want to get our power grid stable and we want to get to that super sustainable as quickly as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. And I think what I'm going to do is, while I'm working on that, we're going to go ahead and tame this cool salt slush geyser. Say that 5 times fast. And maybe grab some of this reswort and all that kind of good stuff over here. We're going to leave this the hell alone, because we're not messing with that yet. And we'll go ahead and start working on some of this. So hold please, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we built our solar panels up here. Unfortunately, our grid really isn't that stable still, and that's because we have things like this glass forge here, which we use to make glass to make these. This is just kind of set up here as a temporary solution because it's in a cold biome, so the liquid glass immediately solidifies. Anyway, so we have this tame, although we did get some mix in here, so we'll have to sort that out later. That's kind of a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. But like I was saying, the grid is mostly stable unless we run some of these bigger machines that take a lot of power. I guess we could put a couple more batteries in here to kind of buffer that out. Or we could put them out here. That actually might work. We can probably put a couple of batteries out here. Put one right there. That's actually a clever little spot for it, huh? We're also getting a little bit closer to our objective here. We are about 100,000 away from hitting our super sustainable here, so we're definitely starting to make some progress towards that. So I think what I'm gonna wanna do next is we're probably gonna wanna start sending a dupe over to our second asteroid here. So we'll consider doing that here very soon. Given the composition of this planet, I think we're going to want to send a digger builder so we can dig up some of this stuff. Once we get that stabilized, we'll go ahead and start maybe setting up a space program over here. So that'll be interesting. I think we may put some rockets right in here or something like that. I did a count here, so a quick and easy way to see where this ends is to go to the sweeper. You can see that the sweeper cannot be built here, but it can be built here. So if I hit my G key and then I move down to here, I can see that I have 42 tiles from here to here, which is plenty of space for any of our rockets. However, at some point we'll probably put rocket tunnels, but for right now we'll probably just put them closer to the surface. Alright, that's going to do it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.